Hello everyone, welcome to Cyberville. I hope you all are doing well, and as I have made it pretty clear to you in the previous video, the topics that we have discussed, which are foundations of ethical hacking, types of hackers, what ethical hacking is, and why it matters. So in this video we are going to discuss about this day 2 topic day 2 topic, which is footprinting and reconnaissance. Yeah, and this topic comprises of several subtopics which are active and passive recon. Number 2 is going to be the techniques used to gather publicly available information. Number 3 is tools that we are going to use to perform footprinting and reconnaissance. Number 4 is going to be the hands-on session. Hands-on session, guys, I have already told you that I'm going to create a whole new video for this. In every module I'm going to do the same for hands-on, because I cannot smash everything on your head just at a one time with theory and practical as well. So before I proceed further with the subtopics, I would like to ask you guys question that do you even know what is footprinting and reconnaissance? So let's just start with footprinting first. We'll discuss what is footprinting. So let's take an example. Footprinting is, guys, basically a kind of collection of evidences. We gather information to collect about a particular target site or a website or a web app. Let's just give you an example. Let's say this is a kind of web app or website, and the technologies or tools or anything used to create this web app or website are the footprints left by a developer or a web app creator. Let's say techniques like it is used, JavaScript is used to create in it. JavaScript is used to create this, or you can say HTML is used. Any kind of language, tools, techniques, anything that is used to create this are considered to be the footprints which are left by the developer or which are publicly available. That is known to be the footprints. Now let's just give you another example as well. Let's say एज हम सब ने CID तो देखा होगा गाइस, राइट? CID में क्या करते हैं? दे basically go to the crime scene, right? And on the crime scene, what do is they collect information, they collect evidences, right? कि भाई कोई ऐसा evidence हो जो कि wait a second, I am making any kind of sorry, evidences that are left by any criminal, or and hackers do the same, guys. Hackers do what? They collect information that are actually left by the developers. So this is the task of us hackers as well, but we do it ethically because we basically go and report it so that the company or the website or the developers do not face issues regarding it. So that is what footprinting means. So before that I move on directly to active and passive recon, I'll tell you one more thing which is really crucial for you to know. Footprinting is also known as what? Reconnaissance, as it is already mentioned here. It is also known as reconnaissance, and also one more thing, it is also known to be information gathering, guys. In simple words, it is also known as information gathering. And as I have already stated, information gathering, the word itself is defining something, guys. And what is it? It is defining the collection of information from different places to better understand about your target, right? As I have already given an example about CID, what do CID do? They also gather information, na? Gather info to know about their target, that is criminal. Who did this? How did they do this? So usse pehle they do some homework, right? And ethical hackers also do their homework. That is not to be the footprinting. I guess this is pretty clear to you guys. So now we will move on to the next point, types of reconnaissance. There are two types of reconnaissance, two types, which are, one is active, another is passive, right? So let me just note it down here. Yeah, one is active, another is passive. So these are the two types of reconnaissance. Now I'll start with the easy one for you so that you can understand, and let's just hop on to passive. Wait. Oopsies. Yeah. Passive reconnaissance. Guys, as the word itself states, passive means to be at a very lazy state, at a passive state, to do something at a passive state. And if we move on, and I'll give you example. Okay, let's just take an example for the passive reconnaissance as well. That will be easier for you guys to understand. Passive reconnaissance, let's say this is any kind of website or web app, website, Android app, you can say, or web app, a website, Android app, or web app, any kind of app. And what we will basically do, it basically have some kind of information. There are, right now there are several social media platforms also which websites or web apps or Android apps uses in order to do the social do the marketing of their particular website, right? So let's just say that we have a particular information about this website information which is available somewhere, right? So herein, just a second guys. So wherein every website or web app nowadays have any kind of information, and we have to collect that. And what we have to do is collect that. So to gather that information, what we will be basically going to do is, let's just say we are in the passive reconnaissance, we do not directly interact with the target site or the target host. Okay, I'll just write in its definition over here. Do not directly interact with the uh, target host or target app. Now I guess you have got a hold that what I actually mean to say. टारगेट ऐप, टारगेट होस्ट, हम डायरेक्टली इंटरेक्ट नहीं करते गाइज इसमें हम क्या करेंगे, विल कलेक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन विच इज़ पब्लिकली अवेलेबल, राइट? Which is publicly available. That means by using web browsers, or you can say the search engines, or by using you can say social media. By using all these means, guys, we are not directly connected, or we are not directly interacting with the target, right? That means in passive reconnaissance, we avoid detection by the security security means, right? Wait, let me write it here. गाइज, एज यू गाइज आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि हम लोग डिटेक्शन से बचने के लिए, कि हम लोगों को डिटेक्ट ना कर पाए, वी बेसिकली यूज द पैसिव रिकॉनेसेंस. जो अटैकर्स होते हैं, दे यूजुअली डू द पैसिव रिकॉनेसेंस फर्स्ट सो दैट दे कैन गेट टू नो दैट वी आर अनेबल टू गेट डिटेक्टेड, so that in the first initial stage only we are not getting detected and we can pass the phase and we can move on to the active reconnaissance. अगर हमने passive reconnaissance pass कर लिया, that means कि हम लोग easily available information से पता लगा सकते हैं उनका loophole या उनका backdoor, and we are able to create a backdoor and enter into their system. Then we will be starting our active reconnaissance. I guess you are it is linking, guys. You are able to understand what I mean is. So I'll be now telling you about the active reconnaissance. What is active reconnaissance? In active reconnaissance, what we basically do is we basically just a second, yeah, in active reconnaissance we directly interact with the we directly interact with the target system, host or web app, right? Sorry guys for the background voices, because I am obviously staying in the hostel, so you have to cope up with it, a little bit of mess and voices. Sorry for that. Yeah, in the active reconnaissance we basically directly interact with the target system, host or web app. That means, let's just give you example. Let's say this is oh, just a second, there is some mistake. Yeah, let's say there is a kind of web app. This is a web app. And herein we need to know the open ports, or you can say open ports, or the scans, or what kind of vulnerability is there, right? So let me just create one more box over here. Yeah, let's say to find loopholes. Basically, active reconnaissance is used to find the loopholes. In particular web app, and that's how, as we have gathered information, we know that there are these kind of technologies a company or a website is using, and then we can enter into by scanning things and we can find loopholes, right? And in order to find loopholes, what we are going to use is we are going to directly interact with the system. And as I have already told, in passive reconnaissance we avoid detection, and in the passive reconnaissance we avoid detection, and in the active reconnaissance what we do is we basically do is once we are ready to gather details, we'll hop on to the active reconnaissance. I guess it is clear to you. So we have known about active reconnaissance, passive reconnaissance. This is clear. The first topic of our footprinting and reconnaissance is passive and active reconnaissance, which I have made it clear to you guys. Now moving on further, we have the second topic. Here you can see techniques used to gather publicly available information. Now let's write it here. Techniques used to gather publicly available information, right? Now, as the topic stating itself, that techniques which are used to gather publicly available information, हम क्या क्या यूज़ कर सकते हैं कि publicly available information को gather करने के लिए और collect करने के लिए. So here I am going to state a list, guys. Number one is search engines. We can use search engines like Google, DuckDuckGo, and another is Firefox also, you can say. We can use this as well. Moving on further, second point is social media monitoring. We can also use this. And what kind of social media monitoring we are going to use is, just give me a second. Yeah, social media monitoring contains of LinkedIn for a web, like you can say for any kind of company that we are searching about, we can go and search about the LinkedIn. We can check their uh, relatively recent news or their exposures. We can also see Instagram of any company, and or you can say we can also use Facebook. These are the social media monitoring techniques that we can use. Another thing is whois lookup. We all know about whois, right? Whois and domain lookup. We can check the different types of domains that are available for this particular website, web app, company, or industry, anything. Then comes the social engineering techniques. Now you guys might be thinking, how comes the social engineering techniques? Guys, social engineering techniques are like we can manipulate a person of that particular company by just directly interacting with them, and what we can do is we can gather sensitive information out of it. Sensitive information out of it. Then comes the fifth point, that is geolocation techniques. Geolocation techniques. We can use Google Maps or anything like that, location areas of that particular company or website where it is available. And then moving on further, we can use Shodan and census. We have heard about Shodan and census, right guys? We can also use these techniques. Then that is public repositories, public GitHub repos. Public GitHub repos also tell a lot about the companies, and we can gather information from there as well. Now we are going to get about the third, that is tools. So moving on further, what tools we can use, guys? Tools are like for the active, you can say, let's write about active first. For the active, we can use Nmap or Zenmap. Then we can use for inactive for vulnerability scanning. Wait a second. Vulnerability scanning. We can use OpenVAS, OpenVAS, Nikto. And now if we talk about enumeration, for enumeration we can use enum for Linux, right? And then comes the web app Recon. We can use burp suite. I have already made a video on the burp suite. You can see how you can use the burp suite. Then comes the packet analysis. For the packet analysis, we can use Wireshark or TCP dump, right? These are the tools for active reconnaissance. Now if I talk about the wait a second, passive reconnaissance. For the passive reconnaissance, what tools we can use are, I have already told you, search engines and domain and network analysis. Yeah, these are the several tools that we can use for the passive, and these are the several tools that we can use for the active analysis and reconnaissance. So I guess the topic is pretty clear to you guys, and you have understood what I wanted to tell you about the footprinting, active and passive footprinting, then techniques and tools. And as I have already said, hands-on will be making a new video and posting it to you guys. So I hope you liked the video, and if you like the video, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, like the video, and share it with your friends so that they can also take a benefit of it. So bye bye guys, see you in the next video. Hope you like the video. Thank you.